What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into this episode. I want to give a special shout out to one of our day one sponsors, Fabricator 3D Printers. They have 3D printers to fulfill any of your production, educational, and hobbyist needs. With their durable frames and precision nozzles, you are guaranteed amazing prints every time. With a full functioning computer built into the printer, you can do all of your designing, slicing, and printing in one place. Dream it, design it, print it. That's Fabricator 3D printers. Check them out at fabricator.com. Thanks, guys. All right, welcome back. We are back with another episode of Our Fit Journey podcast. We are here today with our special guests, Karl Calden, again. Yeah, returning guests. He practically begged me. No, I'm just kidding. And my lovely girlfriend, Kaity Stopfer. You can talk.
What's up?
Oh my god.
You didn't ask me to talk at all.
Yeah, Karl didn't talk.
Dude, what?
He didn't? I didn't even notice.
Oh, nice.
It's like at work when I ask you a question and you respond, but then you say
dude.
what like 10 seconds afterwards.
I'm out of here, dude.
You're out of here?
Yeah.
You mean you're going to go upstairs and check on the printers?
No, like mentally, dude. I'm just gonna sit here and play fucking video games.
You're going to play Tetris.
Love Tetris.
Oh my god.
Such a good game.
It is a good game.
Okay.
Oh god.
I'll talk.
Oh god. Hold on.
Hold on.
Oh my god. Alright, yes. So we're back with another episode. Last time we were talking about different types of gyms to work out in and trying to find the correct gym for you and what training style you want to go with. So figured I'd have them on the show because they had different styles of training, and we will talk about trying to find what suits you training style wise and what they kind of went through in their training. Yeah, smiles all around until I start grilling yous.
Let's go, dude.
No.
I'm ready.
So it's always important to try and find the correct style of training that fits who you are. If you enjoy more cardio-based types of workout, you want to do more running, more biking, ski ergs, salt bikes, circuit workouts, stuff like that. But you also want these training styles to fit whatever goals you're going to have. So if your goal is to get bigger, gain mass or whatever, you might want to reduce some of the cardio aspect, eating more, so having a change in your diet, but then also doing some strength training as well. So it's not only about what kind of fits you, your personality, but also what your goals are. So one of the different styles of training that is out there is just doing different types of sports, training for those sports. So Kaity had done dancing when she was younger, and so what kind of like training would you do to assist like those dance moves, or like to help strengthen whatever you needed for dance? So I'm guessing like a lot of like leg exercises, but also a lot of core things. So
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess it depends on the type of dance. Like, training for, like, tap dancing would be very different than training for, like, ballet. Just because, like, tap would more be focused on your feet. Whereas, like, ballet or, like, other certain types of dance, you know, kind of use, like, more of your body. But, yeah, it was a lot of core, a lot of leg. Yeah, I mean, the thing with dance is that it uses, like, pretty much all of your body parts, so it really depends on the type of dance that you're trying to train for. Like, ballet is a lot of core and leg, I would say, but something, like I said, like, tap doesn't require a lot of strength, it's a lot of, like, technique.
it's more like technique and like movement.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, was there also like when you did dance, like when you participated in dance, had you like done like you or people that took the classes with you, had they done like a lot of cardio to assist that? Because
Yeah.
like typically when like I see like somebody doing like ballet or like something like that, um, they kind of almost have the frame of like somebody that's like a runner or something like
Mhm.
that. Like they're never like bigger, like muscular as in like their full body. Like they're
Mhm.
not like looking like a female's CrossFit athlete or like
Yeah,
female
yeah.
bodybuilder. Like they're
Yeah.
more like they have like that runner look. They have like a lot of leg power and core. So it was like there were like a lot of like what was like the kind of cardio? Like did you run a lot or?
Yeah, I did some running, like just on my own. Like my instructors, I mean, they never really like, I mean, they encouraged us to just, um, like build our physical stamina in general. Um, so it was more about just like being physically like fit, more so than necessarily like building. I mean,
Yeah.
you want to build strength too, but you're not. It's not about like being jacked. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
don't need to be like super muscular,
Plus, you
super.
build a lot of like strength in like your feet, right? Because you're up on
Yeah.
your toes. So
Right.
like that's not like something where like when you're training for it, you're just gonna get like humongous feet or anything like that. Like it's
Yeah.
you're building like the strength in your toes, but you're also building strength in your legs
Mhm.
to be able to hold that. And then I'm sure like even like when you go up on your toes for a lot of the ballet moves,
Mhm.
you have to hold your core at a certain like
Yeah.
uh, tenseness. So it's also like working your core to kind of hold that like um, statuesque like figure or whatever.
Yeah. I would say like that's probably like the key part with dance is building core strength just because if you have that core strength it'll kind of aid like any other movements that you want to do
Yeah.
because it all comes from because I mean core strength like that's the center of your body literally
Hmm.
so it makes everything else like flow more easily I guess.
So like when you were like a kid and you like went through like these dance classes, like um like they would obviously show you the technical movements and stuff like that, but would they like because I know like with a lot of like training styles like you see for like people who are trying to stay in shape but not like they're not going crazy with it is like they set aside a certain time frame for like core work and a certain time frame for like cardio and then like the
Mm-hmm.
technical work. So did they do that too for dance or was like
Like a breakdown kind of.
yeah like a breakdown like did they like when you had like classes would they like set aside like time in class to do any of those things or was it like your responsibility to like oh like I want to dance I want to do this show or appear in this performance so I have to go run like when I get home or I have to go do core work when I get home
Right.
or was it like incorporated into the class like I'm sure like I said before like when you're going into those maneuvers or stances,
Mm-hmm.
you're holding your core. So you are doing a bit of a core workout, but like, was there any like specific like
Like time set aside.
times? Yeah, like
Yeah, so I mean, they like my instructors always encouraged us to like do as much as we could on our own, like especially like stretching,
mhm.
just in general to like improve your flexibility and things like that, because that's something that that's a little bit more easily like done outside of
Yeah,
class. Like you could stretch in like 5 minutes, you know.
mhm.
Um, but they did set aside like time during class. Usually it was like before the actual dance class. We would
Okay, so
do.
like you would show up beforehand, and like they would like
Yeah, I mean it
it
was
was
like
like
part
an
of the
unofficial.
yeah, it was essentially
Okay.
like part of the class. Um, but it was like the very beginning. We would do like, and it was kind of during like warm up, I would say. Like we
Mhm.
did a lot of yoga because like yoga can help with like physical strength, but then also like flexibility.
Mhm.
Um, what else did we do? I would say like I think it was like they would set aside like 20 minutes or so like before the actual dance class to like um, work with us on like more like technique
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
yeah,
So
things like
then
that.
they'd like work on that technique, and then like kind of during the like during some of it, they'd do like more of the like
Mhm.
movements and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Like it is kind of it is good that like they kind of set a little bit of time aside and like they're like, oh, it's up to you to like kind of like be responsible for like coming to this earlier session, like to do some of those things, like if you want, or do them on your own. So like it's a very independent like there's the choreography for like whatever performance you're doing, but then like I feel like it's a very independent like type of exercise where it's like on you to train yourself and like get in the shape that you need to get in to then do the technical work and do the performances and stuff.
Yeah.
So no, that's like very like that's very interesting because I mean I've never taken dance before, like
maybe you should.
So like I don't know, I'd be down. Get a little like tutu and some spandex or something. Me and Karl join you. Karl,
you trying to dance?
I'm nuts at dancing.
Yeah.
Like, I could tear up a dance floor.
Yeah,
like literally, dude. I'm pretty heavy.
Oh.
I could destroy a dance floor.
Oh, yeah, because fell down and
yeah,
power elbowed the dance floor. But yeah, no, it's like I said, like I've never taken like a dance class before or whatever, so like I wasn't actually like because you always see like if somebody's advertising a dance class or like in a movie or a show or something, they're doing the technical work and like they're practicing for a performance or something like that, but they never show like the work that the dancers have to, like if they're doing it as a group for the class, the work that they have to put in to build up, like to get the strength and to get the core strength for all of those different things.
Yeah.
But
I think it's definitely like important, like as a dancer, to like focus on. I mean, like if you're in a class and if you're in a performance with other people, obviously, you want to work like as a team, because you're all working in unison to put on a show, or like be in a class together. But it is also super important to work on yourself and like focus on your own technique and strength and physical endurance and things like that.
Yeah. Like, what was one of the things that you remember that you would do, other than like the running? Because I know you said before that you would like run on your own and stuff. Was there anything else that you would like make sure that you specifically would do to train either like your core or your cardio or your leg strength on your own?
Yeah.
Like at home, or like even something that you would do individually before like any of the classes or anything like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess
Karl's sitting over there just like stone faced, is like, you're allowed to ask questions too. Yeah. It's not just me. Karl's like,
yeah. How was your paninis from Johnny's?
Oh my gosh, Karl, we're talking about dance. Karl's like
dancers
gotta
eat. Dancers gotta eat. That's important.
That is true. That's something that nobody really talks about. But diet for a dancer is also very important.
Yeah, and plus if you don't include that in your program, 16 weeks. You'll die. You'll like actually die if you don't eat for 16 weeks.
Oh my god. If you don't eat, oh my god, Karl. If you don't eat for a couple of days, you'll die. But you were saying about the like specific things that you were trying to do on your own.
Yeah. So I mean, I personally I liked doing core work.
Yeah.
So I remember doing like that was one thing I did at home a ton, was like crunches and like ab workouts and things like that, because I was so focused on trying to strengthen my core.
Yeah.
But bar work too was also really good.
Oh, okay. So like having the bar in front of you.
Like the ballet bar, yeah.
Now, did you have like something like? You said you would like practice the bar work. Would you do that before or after class, or did like?
I didn't have my own bar. I always wanted my own bar.
See,
but
like
I never had the
even
space
like
for
a
it.
makeshift bar. Like I was like thinking like, because I know your parents and like I feel like, because both your sisters do, right? Kristen does. Yeah, both your sisters do dance. So I'm like, it wouldn't put it past me that your dad would be like build a makeshift ballet bar to practice at home.
I'm gonna go to my dad and ask him why he never made us a bar.
Dad, why did you never support my dreams and make a makeshift ballet bar? But
no, I never had my own bar, but
you would practice a lot.
Yeah, the studio that I went to, I was really close with like the owner and stuff, so she was
you
always
actually
cool
taught there then.
Yeah, Later on I taught there too, but Yeah, she was always cool with us, like, coming in early or staying late or whatever to just, like, use the room or whatever equipment.
Yeah. And, like, one of the kind of neat things is, like, that it is very hard for, like, as a kid, like, to put in that extra work that you need to put in for the classes, because you're reliant on other people making sure that you go to those classes and take those classes and get there for the certain time that you want to get there to train, to get better at it. So it is like super like crucial. Like, you can do a lot of stuff on your own to practice for it, but it is crucial that, like, you're there for all the stuff, and, like, that your parents were, like, able to take you to those things, especially because like with all your brothers and sisters, I'm sure it was like
it was a lot of running around for my parents.
But so it's not only like, as an adult you have the option, like, where, like, you're like, okay, I gotta go to that thing, like, it's reliant on you for the sport that you want to do, to do that. But then, like, as a kid, it's like 100% different, where, like, even if you want, like, some kids don't want to put in the extra work to get better at the sports that they're at. So it's like, even if you want to, you're still reliant on, like, other factors, like your parents, like, being able to take you and stuff like that. So, but how did because you said you taught there and stuff, how did that change from when you were very, like, how did the training or practicing dance change from when you were, like, a kid to older and teaching, like, were you still able to do, like, a lot of the like, did you still do a lot of the training and practicing for shows, or just practicing in general, as much as you did when you were, like, younger?
I would say, I mean, I guess it depends on how young we're talking. Like, I mean, I started dance, like, when I was 3. So obviously, like, a 3-year-old is not gonna train like an 18, or, you know what I mean, like,
you're gonna say
as
you're
an adult,
you're not putting the crunches in as a toddler.
It's just not the same. So I would say, I mean, I did more, like, as an adult for sure than I did as a kid. I mean, in, like, middle school or, like, high school, I did a lot, but I think, like, the older I got, the more training I did, because I realized the older I got, the more I realized how important it was for dance to train like that.
So, like, one of the things was, like, I forget, like, when was it the last time you, like, did, like, training and stuff for dance? I think you told me.
Like, most recently?
Yeah. Other than, like, the 1 or 2
like
sessions that you, like, would go to, like, consecutively, like, when was the last time you were, like, training for dance and stuff like that, or teaching?
Oh gosh.
Because you went to school for dance, right?
I did.
Yeah. So I thought. So, like,
but I was in a class after that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it would be, like, maybe 2 or 3 years ago now.
When you were doing that, class and stuff, were you still, like, keeping up, like, with like the cardio and, like, the core work and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Or did I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, did it change? Did it, like, change at all from, like, then, or from, like, when you were in, like, high school training for it and putting in time to like 2-3 years ago?
Yeah,
like when you're, like, 20, 21 doing
it. Yeah, I mean, it's just different. Like, I mean, when you're going to dance classes, like, every day or every week or whatever, like, that's different than when, like, if you're not putting in as much time for it, I guess. But, I mean, like, it's not like I forgot, like, techniques or things like that. So it's like, I still remember the things that I learned when I was, like, taking classes in high school or whatever, but I'm just not applying them as often, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for
me... Well, I know you want to get back into it, too, so it's like...
Yeah.
It's one of the things where, like, now, because I'm pretty sure, maybe not as much core work, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you're like, putting a lot more time in strengthening your muscles right now. So I'm like, once you get the technique stuff back, I would guess now you'd probably be a lot better at doing a lot of those, like, movements, like, once you practice it a lot and stuff, and, like, get back into, like, teaching or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like they'd become, because you still have that muscle memory of when you did it when you were younger, that you, like, it would go more smoothly, and, like, the training process wouldn't be
It wouldn't be like
it wouldn't
from
be as
scratch.
it wouldn't be as difficult as when you were
It would just be like
younger.
a refresher almost.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as difficult as when you're younger because right now your like day-to-day schedule is like going to the gym and like doing all that stuff. So it's like now it's just literally adding back in that factor of like dancing and like doing the technical work, doing the toe strength work, stuff like that. Yeah. Carl's just
Carl, any input?
Carl's just like,
dude, I'm just listening.
Yeah, he's just like he's waiting because he wants to talk about dance too now. Like
Yeah.
Go ahead, Carl.
He's like,
dude.
Whoa, I need,
dude, that's
dude,
right.
my toe strength, he's like, but my toe strength comes from my pinky toe. I balance on the outside of my foot. But
just like come up like that. Like that.
Yeah, well, like one of the reasons I wanted to like have you guys and talk about it is because I know you trained, Katie, you trained for dance a lot when as a kid, and that training is like a lot different than like you're doing a lot of core, like we said, a lot of core work and a lot of cardio and a lot of leg work, and that's like it's a little different from how I know like Karl when he was younger, he did a lot of like weight training.
Yeah, I was big into strength sports.
Like Olympic weight training. Like you said, didn't you do like a couple small competitions?
No, I didn't do any competition. I was
you just trained
training
really...
because I was genuinely curious about how I could just like change my body.
Yeah.
So like when I started off, I was like real heavy. Like I was like nearing
we talked about this on the diet one before.
yeah.
How
I was
we
real
were
heavy. And man, I just started running, and that changed my body, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then my dad gave me some dumbbells and told me to do some calisthenics, and then I just started like noticing muscles popping out, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And so like then I got a barbell and everything, and I started powerlifting, and I was like, yo, I could keep changing my body in all sorts of different ways. And that's why like I just like entered into a bunch of like different training styles from time to time. So
I remember you saying like you would do like a lot of different things when you were younger, and like you're literally trying to figure out like you said, like changing your body and like
but I was like mainly...
whether it like mainly like just like a change. Like I remember you saying like it was just like a change that you wanted to make, and it wasn't like you're like, oh dude, like my main focus is I literally just want to like be like insanely cut or something like that. Like you were like, I just want to like a change and see what I can like push myself to do. And I feel like that's like a good way to like look at it, like as a kid, because what you have to put in to like have a certain specific goal as a kid, unless it's like a sports related goal, is super tough. It's a lot. Like I feel like you can understand more about fitness as you get older because you obtain more knowledge about just general things, and then like you have the willingness to learn about that, versus like a kid, you're just like, oh, I just want to do this one thing, but I don't know all the different spider webs that come into that one thing. But
I was definitely obsessed with powerlifting when I was younger. I was obsessed with strength sports for sure. But I did have like some sources of information. So my dad had a friend who was a bodybuilder when he was younger, and he gave me a little like powerlifting, well, just a general tip for overall training for powerlifting, and it really revolved around specificity and just recovery. So I would literally just do the big three, like deadlift, bench press, and squat. And I'd spread them out like
calf
every other day.
Tricep extensions. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I would stay away from a lot of that.
Yeah, a lot of the accessory work.
Yeah,
just mainly.
I believe it was specifically just because I was a beginner and I could progress without adding too much volume, so I'd stick to the big three. And there was nothing bottlenecking me yet, so I just do deadlift on Monday, bench press on Wednesday, and then squat on Friday. Yeah. And I would just stick to up to 5 reps, and then the next week I'd go down in reps, and then I'd increase
up in weight.
Yep, up in weight, and I just keep going up in weight. And like during the exercise, or during like some of the final weeks before deloading, I would like try to hit heavy singles and stuff, and then go back and do just a deload week to recover after basically maxing out that week. And so that was kind of just my strength training from like 17 to 19. Yeah. Pretty much.
Well,
And I
like
progressed alright on that. I
that,
think.
like one of the things is like, I feel like that's like a good way to, a good age to start, but like a good way to go about it is
Mhm.
that it keeps it very simple, because when like you get involved in all the accessory work and stuff, yeah, that stuff can be good for you depending on what goal you're like trying to go for, but like it can become very confusing because like there's so many muscles in the body.
Mhm.
So it's like if you're trying to hit the accessory work to build like all sorts of different stuff so your body's proportional, it's like, okay, well, like I just did triceps today, well then I got to do biceps, but that's just my arms. Oh, then I have to do like back, chest, like
Mhm.
all these different things, and you, the breakup and trying to format that yourself as a kid is like a little bit more complicated than like a lot of people understand. So sticking to like the big three is like kind of good, but being very safe and like cautious with that
Mhm.
because they are like more challenging
Mhm.
lifts, or like not challenging but like more
Mhm.
risky because you're working with
A
just
lot
free
of weight
weights.
too.
Yeah, and a
Yeah.
lot of weight.
But I think the like because what I'm doing now is I'm being more like I'm doing more athletic things.
Yeah.
So I'm doing I'm trying to do Olympic weightlifting now, and the difference between those is really like in the powerlifting, the big three, you can kind of do them and coach yourself or have
Yeah.
someone coach you through them. Like as you're doing a deadlift, as you're raising the bar, you can have someone say, "Oh, your back is off. Your back isn't straight. Your back's rounding, or your glutes are too far from the bar. Pull them in a bit, or tighten up your abs and be straight." Like
Yeah.
all while you're lifting the bar, but
Exactly.
with weightlifting now, you just everything is one go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, if
It's
you're
just
training
like,
big weight, you have to compose yourself, make sure that you got all the parts separately. So, you'll do warm ups like for a clean and jerk, you'll do hang cleans with low weight, and
yeah.
you'll do front squats for a little bit. You'll do good mornings, and you do a couple of push presses, and then you try to go for the full thing by tying them together. But in the end, like when you do the actual maneuver, it's one go. Like
Yeah.
so, you have to get it right, and
Yeah.
so
So
it's a
like,
lot riskier.
yeah, and like the accessory work for that is like you said, like that those warm up movements
Mhm.
to like parts, the different parts that are needed to complete the full clean or
Mhm.
the full clean and press
Mhm.
or a snatch. Like it's all those like little movements that you can do in parts at lower weight to one, warm yourself up, two, make sure that like your bot like you don't do it like the first time with like a bunch of weight on it and like you didn't realize your hamstring was like a little sore today or something like that.
Mhm.
Like it helps warm you up, but it also helps you like be aware of like, okay, like when I do this, like I have to be like a little like cautious of like, oh, like my grip's a little weaker today, or like my hand's a little sore because or
Mhm.
something like that. So it's like it's a good way to warm up, but then also like prep yourself mentally for those heavier lifts.
Mhm.
So I've started doing like a lot of that like prep work too with mine. Like before, I would just like when I was doing like cleans and snatches and stuff, I would start out with just like a lower weight, but then just like do the exercise. Like not do it in parts, but like just do the entire exercise and stuff. And I realized like I started like having like back pain problems, which I shouldn't have been having, but I needed to like warm up one, but also like work on my technique too, which I wasn't really working on that much. I was just trying to get like the actual movement down, like all in one movement,
Mhm.
without trying to um, focus too much on those individual parts that would actually help that movement.
Mhm.
So it's one of the things that's like super like those lifts look as easy as some of the other ones, but they're more complex.
Mhm.
So like a curl, that motion itself kind of looks almost the same kind of like not
Mhm.
motion, but like same kind of difficulty level as like, oh, you're doing a clean or
Mhm.
something at a lighter weight, like a medium style weight. But like there's a lot more aspects going into that than like a curl or like a bench press or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
So but like yeah, I remember you saying that as a kid, like you would or as a teenager you would start that weightlifting and stuff like that. My dad, my dad actually, one of his best friends, and this is funny more recently because I started getting into Olympic weightlifting and like trying to do CrossFit and stuff like that. My dad's one of his friends growing up was a bodybuilder.
Mm.
But it's funny because like I've talked to my dad about like doing this stuff, and like not once did a light bulb go, "Hey, I'll get you that guy's contact information."
Oh, wow.
And I literally, as you were talking to me about your dad's friend that was a bodybuilder, it clicked in my head. I was like, "Hey, yeah, that's right. My dad's friend was a bodybuilder," and like, I didn't remember that till now. I'm like, I actually should just contact him and be like, "Oh yeah, how about you give me like a little, if you want to like help me train or do something like that." But yeah, I thought that was just funny as you're like telling me that story. But as when you were younger, were you like, did you do any kind of like sports or like
No.
any of like the workout stuff when you were younger, or was it only like you started when you were in like high school?
Everything started when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So like everything started just after I'd lost. So like I just started out with dumbbells and everything, and then I went to powerlifting when I was 17. So really, all the strength training started when I was 17. So.
Yeah, like one of the good things is like that how your dad went about it by starting you off with dumbbells and stuff like that. Because one of the things is that it is a free weight, and as you go up in dumbbell weight, it does become like more challenging as a free weight because it's individual. Like it's not one interlocked weight like a barbell, but it's like a good intro into fitness, like lifting in general. Like as a kid, I know when I like was training for or when I was personal training people through I'm not even gonna say them because I dislike them so much, but I'm not even gonna give them the nice notification for people to look them up. No, I'm just kidding. When I was working through the devil, no, I'm just kidding. When I was working through them and I was training kids, they would have us like do like a lot of resistance band training and stuff like that. But that was like younger than like high school age, like because one of the things is like they're you don't want to like start like really young kids out with like a lot of like heavy or like heavy for them, but heavy like free weights or like those type of movements because they're not fully developed. They're more at risk to like being injured.
It's mostly
and then,
about
like
emotional development. Like they're just not
their
mentally
motor
mature
skills,
enough.
and then but also like there's like some sort of like they can have like bone growth problems if like they're lift.
It's a
But
rare,
like I said,
rare
like
case,
it's rare, but it's still like a risk.
and like the big
So,
thing is like I think
as a company, they didn't want me training them with like weights, but like you can do it. You just have to be safe about it and like very slow with progression. It's not like
that's the big thing.
It's not like as an adult where like 1 week
You got to train
I
them
did
to
like a
respect
certain
the
weight,
lifts,
and then
so.
like the next week I'm like adding like 10, 20 pounds to whatever weight I was just doing, or 40 pounds, whatever. Like you can go up in progression wise as an adult a lot faster than you when you were like a really young kid. But no, as like a teenager, that's like a good intro, is that dumbbells and then into the like or like the weightlifting that you were doing and stuff. And one of the things, like, did you notice? Because did you notice like a change, like not super fast, as in like like less than a month? I like saw like insane results. Like, did you notice, or like how you felt as a teenager when you're doing it? Did you see like those results like faster than you thought they were, or was it like slower?
It was way faster than I thought it was. Like first I was young. Second, like the powerlifting. Like I was young. I mean,
no. Sorry, I thought you were gonna like. It just sounded like when you said first I was young, and then second I was old. No.
First I was 17, and then like a year later.
Then
I was
a year
like
later, oh my
That's
god!
crazy.
Like it went so fast. Yeah. No, I know that feeling. First I was 21, just getting my freaking like being able to drink, and now I'm 25. Like.
But no, I progressed way faster than I thought I would. So, like, I think within a year, my bench press went from like 225 or like 215 to 285, and like my deadlift went from 295 or something to 400, and then my squat was up at like 335. And
Yeah.
yeah, I progressed really quickly, but also that's just because my training included like a lot of recovery time.
Yeah.
So I was like hardly ever injured, and plus I was eating a lot at that time, so I had an
Yeah.
abundance of resources.
Abundance
And
of, like,
so-
you were recovering fast from it.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
yeah, no, that's a good way to go about it. And I feel like at that age that you started, for certain things, like if this was like something that like you found like interesting and like you were like interesting and then also like fun for you, you would then, like, as a 17, 18-year-old, at the things you want to do and like interest you and are fun for you, you are super focused at it. Like, there's not many distractions around you. Like, yeah, you have to prep for college and like stuff for that, but like there's, other than that, there's like, you might feel it at the time, but like when you find something that you're super interested, at least for me, like when I was that age, I was super focused towards doing that, and like easy to be super dedicated to it and like train like every day if I wanted to and stuff like that. Unfortunately, when I was that age, I wasn't super into weightlifting and like I didn't know the stuff I knew now. So like, yeah, my training was like sports, and which literally I didn't train for any of the sports. I just did the sports, except for golf. Like I trained at golf, but that was mainly because my dad like just enjoyed it. But like when I did football, when I did soccer, I didn't run outside of soccer. To be fair, our coach at the time, like literally, we didn't do any technical work. We just ran for an hour, hour and a half, like every day of the week. So I was like, I was doing cross country, but I was playing soccer. But
Interesting. That's it. Just
yeah,
running.
yeah, that's why I quit soccer, because I didn't like long distance running.
But for football too, they just had you run.
No, for football they did more technical stuff, but it was mainly soccer that like
Okay,
I didn't like the coach.
But still.
Mainly because like it wasn't so much like I did dislike the running, but like I would do it because I was there and like that's fine. It was more of like I would like go to him and be like, I feel like we need to learn some technical, like the technical side of this. Like even though we are like in high school, like there's still technical work that all of us need to work on or do or learn more of. And like he was just like, no, we need to get into shape, so he just have us run every day for like an hour. And so I was like, I'm not with that.
Not for me.
So I went from that to golf, where I didn't run at all. I just walked like 4 miles a day. But well, actually the funniest, when I actually think of it now, when I did golf, I did more physical training than I did for soccer or football, because like more like strength training stuff, which is really funny because it's golf. Like he would have us do, on a normal day without like any mess ups or anything, he would have us do 100 or 50 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. But if we messed up, or like somebody forgot to pick up their ball or forgot to mark their ball on the green or something, like he was like a super stickler about it, he would add 50 to the push-ups and 100 to the other. So there was one day where we did like, we were there, like we cut practice early, like we only practiced for like 15 minutes, and then the rest of the time we did like 200 push-ups and then like 400 sit-ups, I think it would come out to be. Something like that. Yeah, 400 sit-ups. And I was just like, we would always question like why, and like he would just be like, because at the time our team was terrible. Like we were the worst team in the league.
That's because all y'all did was push-ups and sit-ups.
Maybe it was. Like I'm talking about my freshman year there. Like we would do that, and like the people would ask, and he would be like, well, we might suck, but we're gonna be the best damn looking team out there. And I was just like,
crap,
well,
dude.
that's a way to get fired from being the golf coach.
Wow.
Is like, we're not gonna try and improve our golf score, but we're gonna just be the most ripped team ever. So yeah, like I said in like previous episodes, where like I went through like fat, like I was like overweight, and then like I was skinny fat. That was the skinny fat stage. Was not when I was playing soccer, football, and running like all the time. It was when I was doing like hundreds of push-ups and sit-ups and walking 4 miles a day. Like it was just But that was like my only training as a kid. I think, or I did when I taught racquetball to like kids as like one of my jobs as a teenager. I did like every once in a while, like maybe once every 2-3 weeks, I would like lift weights. And I thought that would like I'm like, oh damn, I'm gonna look like Vin Diesel or something.
No.
Like, I'm like, no, that's not what cuts it.
Yeah.
But,
I lifted weights. I was still fat though. So like, yeah, I think I went down to 199, and I went just by the end of the senior year, I was back up to 235.
That's okay. Like I said, that that skinny fats did a very short time, and then
shit.
like when I hit college and like I was only playing racquetball, but like I was like my mentality at the time was like, oh, like I'm like doing racquetball, which I'm like burning like 2,000 calories because I'd play like 4 or 5 hours of racquetball at one time, so I'd be burning all those calories, but like I would still drink like a Mountain Dew a day and like eat like a bag of chips and like donuts, and like I thought I could eat anything because I burned so many. Like I'm like, oh, that person was only on the treadmill for like 30 minutes, but I played 5 hours of racquetball. I can eat whatever I want now. And that's just not how it goes. But yeah, like my training style now is a lot different from when I was a kid, like doing like I said, more like Olympic weightlifting type stuff, and like doing some training for CrossFit and stuff. And now I'm kind of eating like a lot more than I had, and like my diet's like a little bit freer than it had been the past like couple years. But that's like I kind of fell back into that mentality a little bit where like I could quote unquote eat whatever I want. I can't, but like I'm eating a lot more, and like I'm thinking about food differently than when I was a kid. Like I don't eat a lot of sugars and like processed foods like that, but I'm like eating like a lot of like carbs or like some fatty things for some days because I burn more calories than like usual or something like that. Like stuff to help me recover a little bit better, but like not like my diet's like free range like I did in college. But which is funny because like when I say college, I don't mean I gained like the freshman 15. I didn't. I gained like the like sophomore like 30. I just added 2 years. No. But yeah. One of the things is like you had said you'd done training and stuff like weightlifting when you were younger. But like now I know you want to do, or at least you told me you want to do like an Olympic weightlifting competition and stuff. At least one you said. But yeah. Like so, do you have? I know we kind of like mentioned it before, but like like at that time you weren't sure. But like, do you have like a date that like not like a specific date, but like by this year I want to be able to be at this. Like I'm sure you have benchmarks on like the weights you want to hit, but and like how you want to be at like a certain like technique level for those weights. But like, is there a benchmark date yet for like when you would like to be in shape to compete, or no?
No, there's no
Not
date.
yet?
I literally just want to
Train until you feel ready.
Yeah.
No, that's a good way to go about it. Like be like having that mentality that like
I feel like not necessarily that I want to just like go in there and just like just blow off the coach because I know how to do everything. It's more like I want to make sure that I'm like my mind is ready. Like I'm ready to do this for sure.
Before you like get like a coach to help you for the competitions and stuff. No, that makes sense. Like that was my mentality before, like for like CrossFit, because I want to do like a CrossFit competition or two or however many until I get like tired of them. But like I could sign up for a CrossFit gym and start training like now.
Yeah.
But I want to be better with my technical stuff before going in there, because I know, like just like how we did with deadlifts, like I didn't start deadlifting till last year. Once I got the technique and what I had to do for it down, like I increased the weights very easily because I knew what was like a good lift and what was a bad lift, and like like okay, this is my pushing point right now. This is what I like kind of need to train a little bit on before stepping up the weight. And like I said, like the first time we deadlifted together, that was the first time I ever deadlifted before. One, because like I'd always gone to like those like corporation gyms or like the chain gyms,
Yeah.
and I never felt like comfortable being able to like try and learn how to deadlift at those places. Mainly because there isn't like a lot of space or like room to do deadlifts. So it's like you're taking up from somebody that probably already knows how to deadlift and just wants to like practice their weight and train at it and stuff like that. But yeah, the first time I ever deadlifted was like that first time we deadlifted together, and like yeah, like now my deadlift is like 405, something like that. So it's like I know how to like increase the weights and stuff. It's just getting the technique down, which like I could just go, because I know they do like a lot of like training before you can do like the classes for CrossFit gym. So they do like a lot of the technical stuff there. It's just you're also paying like a lot more when you sign up for them. So it's like I want to get my technical stuff down at least to the point where like I know what I'm like, I feel comfortable knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then like if they change anything, like yeah, that's something I can work on too.
Yeah.
But
like before you get a coach, you want to make sure you're coachable.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like a lot more comfortable being like not going in not knowing anything about what I'm doing or like how I'm going to do it, like being at least somewhat knowledgeable about it. But I know like I feel like one of the things is like I should just go and just do it like now, because
yeah, it's like
I'm
paralysis by
very
analysis.
like with my lifts, I'm very like picky on like what I think is good or not. Like I know there's several times where you're like, oh, you did it, like you got up, you're good. I'm like, no, that doesn't count as that doesn't count as my new PR, because my back bowed a bit or whatever. I was like super picky on my deadlifts and like what I counted as like a new like personal record or whatever for myself, because I was like, no, it has to like not look like super like hunched over. I know you are. I know you are with like your cleans and like snatches right now, but yeah. So like we were saying, like a lot of the training like will change. So like I feel like as a kid, like Katie, you did like a lot of like cardio and stuff like that, core work for training, and like it was definitely a lot different from what Karl started doing when he was in high school, because it's different movements. I mean, like yeah, he was working out his legs, so like there's still some of that like training, but like the workouts are different. But it ultimately gets like, yeah, it depended what your goals were, but ultimately these different forms of fitness got you to the level that like you felt comfortable in, and like how you wanted to be either that sport. All my stuff happened like later in life, so I really can't compare it, like because like I said, as like a kid or even in high school, I just did the sports and then just didn't do any training whatsoever. And it was the funniest thing, because I remember in football, I remember in football, like they were like, oh, don't you want to hit the gym afterwards? And I was like, no, I just did like 100 freaking burpees and like push-ups. Like, I'm good. And like they're like, okay. Like, and that's probably why I was like, that was also another skinny fat stage, I think, was when I played football, and I was like 130 or 155 pound fullback, which is not like what you want to be. Like all that 155 pounds was just fat, but like you want to be like a little bit bigger, because you're supposed to be blocking and like pushing through people. And so like everybody else was like in like really good shape, and I'm just like this like little fat blob, just like at like I wasn't super heavy at that time, but like yeah, I just No, it was bad. It was just really funny because like I would just get like wrecked a lot, and like I was like, I don't understand. Like I did like 100 push-ups the other day. Like why did I not like do better at this? But yeah.
Yeah, I trained and never did sports, so I should have at least gotten into the sport. But yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean, like weightlifting, like yeah, like now you want to get into like
the actual
competitions,
sport, like
but
the
like
competition part.
yeah.
So I
I
should
feel
have
like
done some competition.
you kind of trained though as if you were training for like a competition.
Yeah,
like
I
when
mean,
you were
like
in-
it was important
yeah.
that I like improve my snatch technique and my clean technique. So that's just really important to me. So yeah, maybe do like a local competition.
Carl, I'm gonna give you a gold
Someday.
medal right now. I'm just gonna give you. Feels
Yeah.
like you just never got a gold medal. I'm gonna give you one right now.
Yeah.
Carl's like, I've never even gotten that participation award. No, I'm gonna give you a gold freaking medal, Carl. You win the
crazy.
gold medal on this episode.
Yeah,
No,
my dad would always push me into football though.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd power lift. I'd be like, Dad, I'm powerlifting, and he'd be like, Oh, you want to play football? And I was
My dad would always. I feel like that was like a
Football.
typical thing for like people our age. Like our dads would push us for football. Like
Yeah.
I remember my dad like never liked soccer, and like I liked soccer. Like I liked playing and like practicing for it. I didn't like the coach, and that's ultimately why I like quit because he was
'Cause
gonna
you're
be
just
the coach.
running.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like you're not playing soccer at that point, but.
You had some
'Cause-
horrible
I mean, there's
coaches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I told you about my basketball coach the one time. He put
You
like
played basketball?
yeah, I played basketball.
Whoa.
Um
Dude, you did like every sport ever.
Yeah.
yeah, I played baseball too.
You played baseball? You did. Did
Yeah.
you actually play baseball?
Baseball.
Yeah, but I played
basketball,
baseball when I was, like,
football,
shoot.
golf, racquetball.
I
I
played
did-
baseball for a little bit too.
I liked I like competition,
Mhm.
and that's why I want to get back into it and do
Yeah.
CrossFit and stuff because I enjoy competition. But
Mhm.
like, and now I'm actually training like you should to be good at competing against people. But yeah, when I played basketball, my coach, like for the first day of tryouts, there was like 60 kids,
Mhm.
and he decided to put all 60 kids out on the basketball court. And yeah, if you know anything about basketball or even just look at like people playing basketball, there's never 60 people out on the court. And so like 4 kids got hit. He gave us 2 basketballs too, and had us play full court. So like 5 kids got hit in the face with basketballs. 1 kid had like a bloody nose. This 1 kid got his glasses like destroyed. My dad like looks at me from the stands, and we're like, no, this is not how you do it. Like we're getting out of here. Like we just have bad bad coaches.
crap.
Yeah, I think every sport, like the sports that I like stopped playing, were literally just because I really didn't like the coaches, which I feel like is kind of like good for like racquetball, golf a little bit, but like like training for CrossFit is like, yeah, you have coaches for it, but like a lot of it is independent, so it's not like you're not super reliant on the coach. So like the coach isn't making the decision for you. So like I quit football because the coach would always choose players that had played since they were like 6 and never give anybody else a chance. Yeah, like I remember my dad was like, "Oh, you should go out for quarterback. You have a really like strong arm. Like go out for quarterback." And like so I suggested, I was like, "Hey, can I like try for like second string quarterback or third string, like kind of just like try for a couple passes or something?" And they're like, "Oh no, we already got him by." And I was like, I was like, "Okay, well I'm pretty fast too, like wide receiver, like something where it's like, because I'm not a big kid, like I was fast, but I was like a little heavier, like I was fast for like you wouldn't think I was fast at like how I looked." And like they're like, "No, we're gonna put you in like the one position where you need strength," which I didn't have. But
Yeah, I was not athletic enough to do football.
I think
as
you
a
could have been.
powerlifter.
I just think like
I think it's
as
just
a
the wrong
kid,
sport for
like
a power lifter, I think.
yeah.
So like I should have just did powerlifting, but
Yeah.
I didn't know where to go for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you did powerlifting, you had to like be on. I think in my school, yeah, the football players, they did little powerlifting competitions sometimes, but then they had to play football.
I was like little
So.
because they didn't match up to the weights I was throwing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was.
But how awesome would that have been, though? They have a little powerlifting competition. You go
Yeah.
in there and just destroy
Yeah.
them, and they're like, "Look at this kid."
Yeah, I think there was one other.
I think
kid
you
that
could have
was-
like beat them at that, but
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think there was only one other kid that was like stronger
super.
than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like this. Yeah, I knew it was my friend Greg. He had a 600-pound deadlift when
Oh
he
my
was
God.
17.
Damn.
It's
What?
ridiculous. Yeah, he had a 600
25
pound
and I
deadlift.
don't even have a 600-pound deadlift yet.
Yeah,
well, then
he
again,
was-
I've only been doing it for a year, but I'll
Yeah,
give
he
myself a
was
little
strong,
credit.
dude. He was strong.
But are you tired of having the same old boring supplements, not knowing which supplements to buy? Are you tired of wearing that uncomfortable t-shirt to the gym to work out in? Well, then check out fnxfit.com. They have amazing variety of different types of supplements for you, from regular proteins to vegan proteins, pre-workouts, BCAAs, whatever you might want, they have it. To their amazingly comfortable workout clothes. Guys, I've tried it myself. Their workout shirts, amazing to work out in, very breathable, and they don't restrict you. They also have amazing accessories such as hats, sunglasses, whatever it might be. You can find it there at fnxfit.com. If I haven't sold you guys yet, how about you use my coupon code FNXJourney99 for 15% off any of your purchases. All right. They also have other amazing deals every so often where you could get 50% off your order, a buy one, get one free. You should really check them out, guys. All right. That's fnxfit.com. Once again, that coupon code is FNXJourney99 for 15% off. All right, now let's get back to the episode. I think we talked pretty much about like I said, your training styles differed. My training style like differed when I started working out. Like it was all cardio based, which was funny because of how much I despise cardio. But like that's what I thought I wanted to get into boxing, and that's what you have to do for boxing. You have to be super good at cardio, and like I really wanted to box, and like I did training for boxing, and so what I had to do was lose weight, which is what I did. Lost a little bit too much, became sickly looking, and yeah, do cardio and yeah, technique work. It's pretty much, and then like if you want to go up in weight class, you strength train. So and eat.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you see like the heavyweights, like none of them like. I remember like watching like some of the heavyweights back in the day, like they were like at least like in shape or fit. Now you could just be like a fat dude that just boxes, which is like it seems to work, so why not? But yeah. Well, like I do with every episode, and Karl knows this, we have a nice motivational quotes or some motivational advice at the end of this episode. So let's start with you, Katie. What kind of motivational advice or what motivational quote do you have for us today? Whether it's your own, whether it's something you found, whether it's something you just like.
Mine is by Helen Keller.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Perfect for lifting blind people. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
No, blind and deaf people.
Listen.
I can't
see. Listen.
I can't hear. Did I just drop the weight on my foot? I can't feel either.
Oh my god.
You're terrible.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Yeah, hit her up on Twitter, dude.
Yeah. The real Helen Keller. No.
Horrible. So
Sorry.
do you want to know the quote?
Yes, I do. Sorry, sweetheart.
It is, optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. I like the perspective because a lot of people, I feel like with sports and like, you know, dance and weightlifting and whatever, it's not just about like being physically capable. I think it's a lot of it is like mental and emotional and internal as well.
Have the right like not only just
have your mind in the
physical
right
shape,
place.
but like also the right mindset and be in that kind of headspace for whatever you're doing, and just in life in general. So
Yeah.
no, I like that. Karl, what kind of kind of
my
advice.
my advice is
Damn,
pretty similar,
Carl's.
actually.
Oh yeah, it's literally just it's the same quote
Yeah,
by Helen
so
Keller.
Helen Keller said...
Carl's like, damn, you stole my advice for the day.
Yeah.
No, Carl, I remember your advice from last time. Trust me, it wasn't anywhere close to Helen Keller's
definitely,
nice advice
so as I
here.
said last time, just quit.
Oh my
You can't
god.
do it like me, dude.
Oh
Just
my
quit.
god, Carl. No.
Yeah, I know, like, I talk a lot about just, like, making sure you're coachable before getting a coach, but, I mean, like, I guess don't overthink it. Like, if you want to do weightlifting, you probably should just go to a weightlifting place. There's coaches, they'll teach you from the very beginning, like, not ever having lifted weight before. That's just my personal choice to, like, train on my own and then make sure I come in with some substance. But I guess just avoid, like, paralysis by analysis. Just don't overthink things. Think about it a little bit and then just, like, go for it if you want to. So.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Like,
And
they...
if you don't quit, like...
Oh my god, shut up, Carl. Oh my god. No.
Go hard or go home kind of attitude.
No. And Carl went hard, so everybody else should just go home.
Yeah,
no,
actually.
No, I agree with that. Like, my thing is, like, I always, with, like, weightlifting and stuff, I always had, like, a lot of, like, I know I've mentioned it before, but, like, a lot of, like, gym intimidation where, like, I felt, like, self-conscious about, like, trying new things or, like, doing certain lifts. Not so much that, like, I felt like everybody was super judging me, but I felt like I was being judged by the people that knew how to do this stuff, which I was training to be able to be more knowledgeable about those things. So, like, my thing is, like, I like being prepared before going into those situations. So, no, but I agree, that's, like, a good way to go about it. Like, if you're interested in something and you want to learn how to do it or do some sort of exercise, like, just go and, like, do some research on it, find out, like, what kind of gym or what kind of workout facility or what you have to do to train yourself to do whatever it is that you're interested in. I mean, like, if you're interested in that type of thing, it's like, don't let anything hold you back from it, because it's like, why not try it? Try almost everything, like, you're kind of, like, a little bit interested in. Like, think about it. If it seems like something that you'd actually want to, like, try and do, try it for a while. Do it for a little bit, and then Karl would say, as, like, if you don't like it anymore, quit.
Dude.
Try something else. I wouldn't say quit. I would just say try something else.
I'm
Always that
just
positive mindset there, Karl.
Dude, there's the exit. There's the bed. Take a nap, dude.
Oh my god.
No, but adding on to what Steven said, I mean, like, you go into a gym and you think you can't do something, you think you don't have the right technique. Like, you're in a gym. You're there to train.
Yeah.
So if you need to train technique and you can't do it with big weight, I mean, like, just train your technique. Like, just do it. If you think you don't know how to deadlift, if you think you're gonna look funny, try it. Watch a video. Sit there and, like, watch a video, do it, and then just keep trying it until it looks
each
not
person.
ugly to you.
Each person that, like, is good at, like, deadlifting, cleaning, doing whatever. Like, they trained it, and, like, my thing is I was always at those chain gyms, like I said, and I feel like those are one of those places where it's, like, the more, like, I don't want to stereotype it, but it's, like, more of, like, I feel they're more, like, a little judgmental about it. Like, I feel like people go there and work out and stuff, but it's, like, more of, like, a society type thing than, like, a smaller, like, actual, like, Olympic weightlifting gym. You don't have to go there for Olympic weightlifting. Like, you can go there and just train whatever you want. But I feel like the people there are there to train and help people train.
Oh yeah,
and,
for
like,
sure. Like,
I feel like it's more of, like, a welcoming environment versus, like, oh, I'm here to, like, get, like, fit or like whatever, and, like, oh, look how that person's doing that. Like, I always got that vibe off of chain gyms. Just, I don't know, like, I didn't feel very welcome there, so that's why I would never, like, deadlift or try anything new there. I would just do whatever workout I knew how to do and just do a bunch of it. So, but
I mean, probably a lot of the stuff's in your head too. So,
it is, like I said, like, I'm not saying all gyms are like that, like all chain gyms are like that, but I know some people that, like, were at the gyms that I went to that were like that. that I knew personally outside of the gym. And so like I kind of got that vibe. So it was kind of like more of an experience that then like led to, okay, like that's how that gym is.
Yeah.
But like I feel like it does happen there, but not all the time. So it is kind of like more of a mentality thing.
Yeah, and like
But-
if someone like says something to you about your like
Yeah.
exercise, like honestly, they're probably a dickhead outside the gym.
Exactly.
Like I remember,
I just
was
don't
in
like
a-
I like I was saying. Sorry, I don't feel like my thing was I didn't want to be around the dickheads.
Mhm.
So I was like
Yeah.
I tried to distance myself from them, and that's why I like that's why I like had those type of gyms like associated with those people because I'd always see them there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I don't want to be around you, so I'm not going to that like gym because. And that's fine with me because I felt more welcoming. Like as soon as I started going to the gym we go to now, I felt more welcomed, and like I had the free space and like not that nervousness to hold me back from doing the things that I wanted to do. Yeah, I mess up more, or I did more different types of lifts and mess up more at that gym, and probably look silly to anybody that's looking around. But I
Yeah.
care less
Yeah,
for
I
some
mean,
reason. Like
yeah.
everybody, like there's like so many like random people there that like come up to and just talk to us or whatever when we're at that gym and stuff. So it's like that one's not even like an older style like Olympic weightlifting gym or whatever, but it just feels more welcoming to me.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I remember I was in a one gym near my house, and I was just doing some bench presses. I was just taking a normal 2-minute break, and some guy just comes up and he's just like, I took 2-minute breaks, and I just like kind of sit there because like it's a break. What do you want me to do? Some guy just comes up and he's just like, you got to work harder, and I was like, thanks, okay. That's kind of the attitude that you have to take. Just like,
yeah, just blow
they're
it
a
off, like,
dickhead. Like
Yeah.
if they,
Yeah.
that's how they act.
Yeah.
So, like you don't listen to them. You
Yeah.
listen to the greats.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, those are two very very good pieces of advice, and
It's like a
should get you
million pieces of
motivated.
advice
So
in one,
I feel
dude.
like I'm off the hook for today, but I'm still gonna give you the advice.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Go home. I'm just kidding, Carl.
Dude,
I'm
don't take my
stealing.
advice. What the
I'm
hell?
stealing your advice. No. My quote is from Muhammad Ali, and it says, "He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life." So you have to, like we were saying, like you have to be able to take that risk and like try something new. So going off of what Karl was saying is like, if you're interested in something, like go out and try it. Go like find out what you have to do to go out and try it, and just do it. Like,
Failed to clean today.
yeah. Oh, it looked terrible. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. Nah, I
No,
mean,
Karl, you're doing good.
yeah, I mean the fail was good though. Like that's the first time I.
It
That's
was
the
a
first
good
time I
fail.
ever
I
failed
failed
something in
so
my life.
good.
So like, just kidding.
You're like, I'll take that F. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean,
No,
failure's
no.
a learning experience too.
It
I
is.
learned what happens when you fail,
And what you
it
have to
wasn't
do
that bad
right.
at all. Like,
And what you have to do right, like when you fail. And so yeah, I think there is like a bit of risk taking that you have to do in life, but also when you're working out, trying something new. Like me and Karl, we're gonna try some dance.
yeah. Oh yeah, let's do that. Actually, screw this weightlifting stuff. I'm not.
You're gonna be a
into this.
dancer. We're gonna
trying to
see
go
you
to
on
that dance
freaking
studio.
billboards, Karl. He's
man.
gonna be the new Black Swan. No. Yeah, just try something new. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
He already tore a hammy. He already and
Okay.
yeah, if you know
I'm gonna
Karl,
stop this, dude. I'm gonna ruin their entire office here.
Yeah. If you already know Karl, you know how much he hates when I say hammy.
Hammy. I
But-
hate when you say hammy.
I know. It's like I'm what was it? What would you say it was yesterday?
You're
It's
like
like I'm a
a
weightlifting toddler.
Do a hammy.
You tore my hammy.
Do a hammy. All right.
But yeah. So there. You're now motivated for the day. So get out and try something new. Take
Yeah.
that little risk and go home. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Go home after
you lift,
after
like,
you take that risk.
Don't
go
just
home.
stay there
Just-
all day.
yeah,
dude.
go.
Like,
That is good
you
advice,
gotta
Karl.
rest something.
Karl,
yeah.
I'm-
Remember when I said
I'm-
take a nap? I really meant like you gotta take. Some
No, you didn't. Shut up. Yeah.
So there's the extra.
Karl, I'm
take a
taking
nap,
your
dude.
advice. Yeah, people, at the end of the day, after your training, go home, take a nap. All right.
And then
All
just
right.
don't
We
get
are
up.
signing out for another episode. Yeah, Karl, I'm cutting you off early. You're out of control. All right. Have a good day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.